on my wildest dreams. Maybe that look could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from what I had today. Time gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. Thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from what I had today.
Oh, let's just get going here, y'all. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LeVar. This is One Street Over. A chance to see what's happening one street over from where you're living. And if you're just finding us, if you're just joining us, welcome. We talk about everything going on, primarily in Robertson County, but sometimes we talk about world events and other things going on, especially when we bring in somebody like Terry Wilson. He is our Veteran Service Officer here in Robertson County.
Yeah.
And we intentionally talk. We're always about the veterans. If there's anything going on with the veterans, we want to know about it. So we'll, from occasionally just, jump off topic and go into veterans issues, even other than the first Wednesday. But the first Wednesday is your day. And
Outstanding.
I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And let's start with the flag sitting here. Why did I bring you that flag? You see how faded it is? Look how
Yeah.
faded. So why would I bring that to you?
You would bring it to me so it could be properly retired.
Thank you very much.
We do not burn flags, we retire them. Mm-hmm. There's proper ceremony that goes with that. Mm-hmm. And Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts also do retirements. Flag Day, June 14th, we'll be doing a big flag retirement. Been invited by Abigail over at Springfield Memorial, and they want to do kind of a combined big event.
Oh, fun.
And we'll do that on the evening of the 14th. And that way, if there's other people who have a flag that needs to be retired, they can bring it. They can actually drop it off at Springfield Memorial, or they can, if we're not someone at the post, they can, stick it in a Walmart bag, Kroger bag or something, and just go ahead and hang it on the door there at the Legion Post, and we will get that, and we'll make sure that it's added in with our flags that we're going to properly retire.
Okay, so that is for Flag Day in June
Yes.
on the 14th. So
Yes.
that's not this month. We're still at the very
Yeah.
beginning of May. We're approaching the big events coming up, really, I think, for veterans. We've got Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, which y'all will be there.
Yeah.
And then we've got Memorial Day
Yeah.
coming up prior to that. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking Flag Day coming up in June. We'll be talking about that again, but that's when you say the 14th. We're
Yeah.
talking next month.
Yes.
Is when
So-
all that's going
So
on.
take a look
Right.
at your flag.
Yeah.
If it
Yes.
looks like it's been through combat where it's starting to look a little shredded, it shouldn't be that way. Take it down, change it. if you're not able to change it yourself due to health or disability, you know, let someone know. You can contact any American Legion member, VFW member. I mean, we're heavily throughout the county, or you can call the Veteran Service Office at 615-382-6506, and that's 615-382-6506, and let us know that you're not able to change your flag. And, you know, with all the wins we've had and those really big wins, a lot of folks didn't take yours down. But they are at the point they need to be retired. And when you drive through the county, there's times I almost run out of fingers as for how many flags need to be changed.
Yeah, and and here's the thing you have to be mindful of. My flag, I changed it not that long ago, but I apparently didn't. And I thought I was buying a high quality flag, but because I think it's a cotton flag, it faded just immediately. And so I went with a more nylon flag, I think. I think the one I've got now is going to hold up to the sun much better. That was not the flag that needed to be on my pole.
We have some that we get from Valley Forge, which is through the American Legion, and those flags are all American made. So they have 50 stars on them.
Have you ever seen flags come in from China that are?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That just.
Well,
Don't do that, y'all.
Well, when you order them in out of the country, you don't know how many stars they're putting in there, or if they're going to have the red stripe in the right place or the white stripe. You might end up with a white field with blue stars.
Oh, you just never know. Oh my goodness.
So.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
But we do have. It's a polyester type flag, very durable outside in the weather. I've had folks getting some maybe 8 to 12 months out of a flag.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, that flag also, it costs about $35 to build for that flag. We do keep a few on hand, and that's in the 3x5s. I keep some 5x8s. 5x8 flags, which is much larger. And so you need to make sure you have a pole properly for that size, which is going to be bigger than most of the poles that you can buy locally. And so, we just want to make sure the flag is up there, that it looks good. And we don't have to have it looking like the flag did when Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem. We don't have, it doesn't have to look like that.
Go to the Smithsonian and see that, but no. We don't want ours to be like, well, I'm remembering the Star Spangled Banner. No.
And if someone just wants to use a nylon, I usually keep some nylons at the post. The nylons they're about $20 a piece. Now, if you can definitely pick up some of those at any retailer and stuff, but that money goes back into their profits. What little bit that we get on the flags, we actually are basically at cost plus whatever it is for the shipping to come in.
Yeah.
And the flags that we get through the American Legion actually goes, and Valley Forge contributes X amount of that back to the American Legion to be able to help us support our programs on Americanism and patriotism.
Okay. And see, I need a new flag for my classroom. It just looks, it's fine, but it's a little dingy looking.
Yeah.
And I just wonder when the last time I want a fresh flag in there. And it just needs to be. So we got to get on that. We have talked about that. But, and one thing too, that you mentioned, as we're talking about upcoming Flag Day, which is in June. And then also we have Memorial Day things we're going to be talking about. We need to talk about the poppy sale and all of that and what that means. But we're going to pause just for a moment, and we're going to go ahead and hit one of our first breaks. We are going to pause and talk about Cumberland Connect. I went to the website. I just wanted to see, I'm a customer. I'm with Cumberland Connect. And I have a gig. So if you don't have a gig, you need a gig, y'all. It is awesome. That means my children, they say that's like filling a bathtub with a fire hose, but why not? It's $80. I was paying $65 for upload speeds of like 3.5. Now I have a 600 upload speed. It's so cool. You can too. And I need it because I'm a photographer and I do a lot of, photography uploads, and that takes a minute. And I do a lot of video things. So I needed that high speed. Well, if you're a Cumberland Electric customer, good news, you're going to have access. When? Go to cumberlandconnect.org, put in your zip code. It'll have a place where you can say, right at the very top, over to the right, it says check availability. You click on that, you put in your info, and it will tell you when they're going to be there. There's a status map. You can get updates, all the things that you need to do to find out if they're in your neighborhood. And you might find out they're already there, because if you're a Cumberland Electric customer, they're I'm thinking about a year and a half away from having everybody made available to all of their customers. So just go click on that, see where they are, and put in your request for high-speed internet, because it's fabulous. Once you change over, you'll be like, oh, I'm so thankful that it's a utility now. And if you're somebody that struggles financially and you're thinking, I can't even afford basic cable, I can't afford basic broadband. Well, you may qualify for up to $30 for broadband services with the Affordable Connectivity Program, because they want to help out. And guess what? They've got packages starting at $30. You cannot beat this, guys. Go and talk to them at Cumberland Connect today, simply by going cumberlandconnect.org, check availability, put in your info, and you can contact them if you want to check out the Affordable Connectivity Program. But all the things you will find online. And when you do, let them know that U-Turn sent you, and thank them for being one of our full-time sponsors here at One Street Over. Terry Wilson's in the house. So why don't we slide right into the fact that we do have Memorial Day coming up. I've got to get a hold. Does your church do anything for Memorial Day? I know a lot of people are like, why would you not have that in church, to honor those who give us the freedom to practice our faith in God and Jesus Christ with freedom? And because that is not common, guy. I mean, across the globe, there are so many people that are oppressed because of their faith, and that's what we were founded for, y'all. Don't even get me started. But man, should we not say thank you?
Yeah.
And
they should at least have them stand up and be recognized.
Well,
do something for them. Now, granted, the big difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day is, so they always, big chain restaurants offer a free meal to veterans. Well, if it's to honor the ones who had passed away, which is what Memorial Day is, none of them's going to show up.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've kind of missed the meaning on some of that.
Yes, they have.
And so when you look at that, it's not giving thanks for all the veterans. It's being able to show the respect and the proper decorum for our veterans who have passed. Mm-hmm. And because we're losing veterans fast.
Yeah, we are.
Vietnam vets are the fastest that we're losing. We don't have many World War II vets left. Korea is right behind them. Our Vietnam vets are passing at an alarming younger age than World War II or Korea.
Because of Agent Orange. And we talk a lot about that.
Yeah. And so, we want to make sure we're paying a proper respect, not only to the veteran, but also to the family. Because a lot of people forget that if a veteran loses his life in combat and he didn't have a family yet, so he not only lost his life, his family lost him, he lost the possibility of having a wife, of having kids. And so it's kind of a long line there when you take and look at the broader picture of it than just, boom, one spot. And so I think it's a big thing, making sure you honor those. So if you live close to a cemetery and they have veterans graves there, and if you need a flag, grave marker flag to be able to put out, and they sell them at Lowe's, they sell them at Walmart and stuff, and it's an 18-inch flag, so it's on an 18-inch stick. Well, the flag's 18 inches, a little bit taller stick, and to be properly placed should be at the head and about 6-8 inches off of the
Stone.
marker, and should be placed at the head. Now, there's a lot of times that they'll have a headstone, and they'll also have the bronze niche or maybe even the marble niche. And if they already have a headstone, then that goes at the foot. So I see a lot of folks when they're setting the flags at cemeteries, they'll set them at the foot because they didn't look right behind them and see that that's the same person. So it should go at the headstone, not at the niche.
Okay. Okay. Well, see, and that's something I never even thought about. And I know that the Boy Scouts will come out and they'll help put those flags out for Memorial Day, right?
They do it in a lot of areas. I know we will be going, the American Legion and VFW will be going out to Springfield Memorial, and we'll do that the weekend before. They like to put them out the weekend before because they know how busy everyone is, but also for an extra week of paying that respect.
Well, that's also Kilgore Station Festival weekend. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So you're going to be busy that weekend.
Well, we may be doing it one evening before the weekend.
There you go. Because I was going to say, because we've got Friday and Saturday we'll be at the festival, and so yeah, so just keep that in mind.
We have enough veterans out there that we have actually set flags in about an hour.
Oh wow! Oh
And
my goodness!
That's several hundred.
Let me know.
Flags.
Let me know when you're going to do that. Because if it's at all possible, I would love to come. I would love to bring my grandchildren that are able. Now, my little, my 9-month-old can't go, but the others could.
Yeah.
Almost
So
10 months
anywhere you're at in the county, if you want to come out and help set flags, of course, as soon as we have a confirmation on the exact day and time, then I'll get that to you so that
that'd
you
be
can
great.
go ahead and get that out to the
Just
county.
text me.
Um,
And Gwen will know, and she's here on Fridays.
Yeah, that's
So.
great. And so the other thing is, we also do flags. We typically at the Greenbrier Cemetery, and we typically do those on the Friday night before. Now, some of our folks will be there doing them that night. I will be out to Kilgore.
Okay. Yes. We'll be there for the middle competition.
Sorry, we do it the following weekends. We actually do it on Friday night.
Oh, yeah, so that'll be the weekend
Yeah.
after. Yeah. Because Kilgore is the weekend before Memorial Day, guys. So I tell you what, and also too, Lee Marie has thrown something up here that I sure want to put out. They have they'll have their Republican meeting at Purpose Life Church on Saturday. They have big breakfast at 8:30. The program starts at 9. They're going to have several veterans speaking this Saturday morning in honor of Military Appreciation Month, which is May, and I think she says she's also going to have King Gamble there, Susan Hunter, author of 77 Letters. She's going to be speaking coming up as well. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a really big day, and you're going to want to be there. It's going to be a great event. But if you're like really wanting to just get some be proud to be an American on you, there you go. Go do that on this Saturday. They have their meeting on the first Saturday at Purpose Life Church. And again, as they say, a big buffet breakfast that you can go to.
Well, and I've read several things already here at the beginning of the week. Here it is. We're Wednesday.
I know.
3 days into the month, and I have seen so many things popping up on the news streams and all. Mm-hmm. People getting upset because a restaurant played the national anthem when people stood up, and they were just terrified that happened, that people stood up. They just felt really uncomfortable, and they didn't need to be doing that because, people just, they can't handle it. When I'm seeing things like that, and I'm seeing things, when we're going against the Constitution here, I'm going to get my soapbox out.
Go.
I'm going to get my soapbox out.
Go down that rabbit hole. It's got a lot of meat. Go chase that rabbit. It's got a lot of meat on it.
12-year-old boy. Father had to go pick him up at school because he had a T-shirt on that had 5 simple words on it. Have you seen it?
No. Mm-mm.
It says, there are only 2 genders. And
He had that shirt on.
He had the T-shirt on, and they asked him to take it off, and he told them no.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, you can't be in class. Well, he asked, why not? Well, you're disruptive. You're going to, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. He goes, why? And he proceeded to explain to them, that's part of his constitutional rights under the First Amendment. And then he even went and spoke at the school board.
God bless him. How old was this kid?
12.
12. Whoa, man.
12 years old. And I mean, standing his ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how anyone lives or anything else. The only thing is everybody has that protection under the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're rewriting it to where you're protected under the First Amendment as long as you don't upset someone. Well, definitely don't go into a veterans hall or something and talk with a bunch of them. Your feelings are going to get hurt.
Yeah. That's just it. And
good
and that's one thing I don't understand when you start talking about that I'm upset or they're triggering me. I got news for you. I'm before I'm anything else, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. He is my Lord and Savior. And I'm going to tell you, I can't hardly walk out in this world without getting triggered by something. And it is just, and I just pray for you. And I smile and I pray for you. And I try to get some Jesus on you as best I can. But, I just don't know.
Hi.
Gwen's here.
You pray for them whether they want it or not.
I know.
Because we can do that and they don't even know it.
I'm the Steve Hemphill who's our spiritual warfare guy that we just love dearly. If you don't know about Steve Hemphill, Google him. He's
look
awesome.
him up.
Well, he was talking about being one time he would go and he would take his lunch or his breakfast and he would take his Bible into a restaurant and he would sit and that's his study time. It's his quiet time. And it was just him. And so he's studying one day, and this guy comes up and looks like a professorial type, and like he's a college professor. What are you reading there? And he was really nice and very, calm, and started questioning him. And he saw the open Bible as this man did as a chance to try to devalue the faith. And he started challenging him. Of course, Steve just let him have it. In love.
Obviously, he didn't know who he was dealing with.
Always be ready to give an answer for the hope that you have when you're challenged. You need to know your word. And so he's giving it back to him. And he goes, and I could just sense, because he's very much in spiritual warfare, and he goes, I could just sense something on him. And he goes, well, Jesus is Lord. And he says, that apparently makes demons very mad. And so, and he kept just saying, Jesus is Lord. And the guy just started raging.
Wow.
And made a scene in the restaurant. And all the people are going, okay. And he storms out and gets in his car and burns rubber going out of the parking lot. And Steve was like, Jesus is Lord. And so I happened to have this, I had on my back of my Yukon that I no longer am driving, it has a sticker that says Jesus is Lord. And I have a magnet in my house. I don't know where I got it. But as you walk in, did you give me that?
Yes, I did.
When did you give me that?
Oh, a long time ago.
Well, I've got that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You always give me such sweet gifts. But I've got a magnet as you walk in to my house on my fridge. First thing you see is Jesus is Lord. And it's there because I have a son that says he doesn't believe. I don't believe it with anything at all. But I just want to remind him when he walks into
my
house, he
house,
comes home.
Yes.
Jesus is
Lord.
Lord.
Yep.
And that's why I don't think he's as convicted of not believing as he is, because I think it would rage him more. And when he's there, he's sweet as sugar.
Yeah.
He's just such a dear, kind, gentle soul.
Yeah.
And I believe he's just struggling with the calling on his life. I believe he's been called to be an Elijah for Jesus, and I think he's going, I don't know what that means. And so he's pushing back.
Right.
And I think that's taking him down a road that he's got to walk.
Is he your veteran?
No. Oh, are you kidding me?
Sorry.
My veteran, he's a mess. He's like, Mom, the Holy Spirit spoke to me this morning. I mean, that's that kid. He's in. I mean, all my boys are deeply spiritual.
Yeah.
Some in other ways. I mean, they all have their own walk, and they all very different. But
I
Jedediah's a veteran.
I don't see how you're a veteran and not.
Yeah, and he's on fire. He's on fire.
There are no atheists in the Fox.
That's
Hunt.
right. That's
There
right.
comes a point to where everyone talks to somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's and I tell you, that's one thing. These guys, when they're over and they're deployed, oh my goodness. When we had the opportunity to visit with him, he goes, man, Mom, it's hard because I just see so much evil here.
Yep.
And these people that he's having to call his allies, you know.
Right.
He goes, the evil on them. He goes, it's just so hard. And of course, he had the blessing of being there when President Trump was kicking butt and taking names and
Yeah.
all of that. So he got to be there for that.
Yeah.
America.
And the thing,
You
and the thing
know?
is,
And so
they're
that was
sur-
a good
they're
experience.
surrounded.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they're dumped into.
But he was there when we were showing our force
Right,
again, and we're
yeah.
like, we're here because it matters, and this is what we're about. And Jesus was all over that, and so they had the opportunity to be the light there. I don't know why. I mean, we're chasing some rabbits, but again, not a lot of meat on them. But I want to say. I think I'm going to have some stickers made. I'm going to call Debbie Keenan over at the Keenan Group. Love you, sister. I'm going to have her make me some stickers that are just like that. Jesus is Lord. And I thought, oh, I could maybe sell those for my mission trip, raise a little money. You know what I'm saying? We're always trying to find. So get ready. I'm not going to have the little silly stickers that Brian has up at
Ding, ding.
99.7. I'm not going to have I'm going to have Jesus is Lord stickers available that you can buy and help me pay for my trip to Baja. And we'll just anger some demonic stuff out there.
Ralph, stir the water.
Stir the water, man. Stir the water. Let's stir the water. All right, I think this would be a good place for let's pause. I got to get some breaks in here. We've added back our Veterans Motorplex. If you want to go to Highland Rim on the Facebook page, go to Highland Rim, and what you're going to find out is whenever Jerry took over Highland Rim, they changed it to Veterans Motorplex. Of course, we're going to talk about it today, and so, but they kept the Facebook page as Highland Rim because they had 17,000 followers. I mean, come on, they're not going to take that down. So they just changed the name, but you have to search Highland Rim Speedway to find out all the things. And we talked to, I started talking about, I just kind of pulled the website up because we just started back with them advertising. And I started talking about Bubba's Bout Broke podcast sponsoring the first limited late model race this year. And it's going to be Saturday, May 6th. And I remember that Caleb Stratton, our wildlife resource sergeant, I think that's he's like, I forget exactly his title. He's just shaking his head and rolling his eyes right now if he's hearing this. But they've got a podcast called Bubba's Bout Broke, and it's really become a hit in the racing community because they pour so much money into these cars. So, I mean, there's so much fun stuff to check out. If you'll go to Highland Rim Speedway on Facebook, just check out all the stuff and go to the races. They always have a family ticket price, of course, that'll get in 2 adults and 6 minor kids. I'm looking for it right now, but thinking it's $40. I think an individual ticket's $15. But if you have questions, just show up at the races. 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. The races are back. The races are back. You can call them at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725, and just get out there and get to the races. I'm going to get my grandkids out to the races. They'll have so much fun. And I love, too, that they honor the seniors. They honored the Greenbrier senior class last night and had them ride around the track. And so that was a lot of fun. I had
Those seniors, not us seniors.
No, we're all seniors. Anyway, we just determined Terry's younger than me. I didn't realize that. Yeah, but you're older. No, how old are you? No, are you older than me or younger? I forget.
I think we're about the same age. I'm 61.
Okay, you're a little bit older than me, so I'll be 61 this year. So
You told
Yeah.
me you was 39.
Well,
yeah.
My son will tell you I'm 29.
There you go. Anyway, all right. We're going down a rabbit hole here. Go to Veterans Motorplex this Saturday. Go to the races, y'all, and you can follow them on social media at Highland Rim Speedway. Highland Rim Speedway, but that's the new Veterans Motorplex. Get out there and enjoy some racing. You've been to the races lately? It's fun.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's so much fun.
And Jerry is a veteran himself.
Yes, by the way. He is such a good guy. So much fun.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And he does everything he can for them to actually put on a good show out there.
He does a great job.
Yeah.
And I will get out there. I'm not going to be there this weekend, but I will be there soon because I want to get out there and enjoy the races myself.
To me, if you're looking for something inexpensive for the whole family to do,
yeah.
I mean, this is it.
And you could probably wear that T-shirt that the 12-year-old was wearing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
probably could.
I saw a great meme the other day. Oh, and I got to say, too, they've got great food out there, and they just get it done right. The concession, I love how they've got their concession stand like a cafeteria, and they get her done. And but it's good food. But no, what you were talking about, the T-shirt, there's two gingers. There's a little meme going around, and it's the typical picture of the woman in the Leave It to Beaver mom dress from the 50s, you know, very
With her pearl
with
necklace
pearl
and-
necklace and her hair perfect, and the little girl standing there, and they're making cookies. And she's got on the traditional dress from the 50s, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, I think I'm a boy." And she goes, "Well, you're not." And that was me. 'Cause, I was in the 60s, and I
Yes.
was like, I'm a boy. I'm a tomboy. And it's like, well, you're a girl. Put on a dress. We're going to church. And I went, "Ugh." I didn't like it. And
I know.
I didn't wear a dress anymore. And they just about had to hog tie me to put me in something girly. And go read my blog, and you'll find out. Just go to lavernevivio.com, best of the blogs. You'll find it. I wished I'd been born a boy.
Yep.
Yeah, wished. ED, because I was a tomboy.
Right, exactly. and I was the oldest of brothers. I was the odd man out.
Yeah.
I was the girl. So, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, we could say tomboy then.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Nobody
Exactly.
got upset.
Right.
Well, and in the blog, I even talked about the fact that I was known as a tomboy, and the boys that were rather feminine, they called them sissy, which was
Yeah.
it was more derogatory than being a tomboy. Being a tomboy, but to me, because to me, call me a tomboy, I thought that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a tomboy. I'll beat you up.
Oh yeah. And
know,
you knew
and
that
I
when
mean, that was
somebody
me.
said- yeah.
Yeah.
You knew that when they said tomboy, you knew it was a girl.
Yeah.
And
But
and
and the same thing with boys, if they were, well, he's a little sissy, and you'd be like, well, he just, you would hear something funny. Go and get the Audible Bible from Bible Gateway, and listen to the story of Jacob and Esau. Okay, listen to Jacob and Esau,
Yep.
and listen to it dramatized. The person that they have doing the voice of Jacob, because he was at home, with his mom, is rather feminine.
It's a mama's boy.
I'm serious, man. It's like they did it intentionally, and
Right.
it just makes me giggle every time I hear it. But I'm like, it's been a thing always, y'all.
yeah.
Read the story of Jacob and Esau.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was at home with mom, and anyway, so I don't
That's
know.
why he could cook the stew.
Yeah, exactly. I have a dear friend who has a very high pitched voice, and he's a fabulous preacher, and he is the lead preacher at Northfield up in Gallatin, big huge church. They were planted by the Madison Church of Christ, actually, and people don't really know the history of how that all happened, and I'm not going to get into all those sort of details, but they're just an amazing body of believers, and Tom Hayden leads them, and he's got a voice up here, but he is the most fabulous minister and preacher, and he jokes about having a high-pitched voice and being a man, and the implications of that when you're younger. People
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
want to put you over here as being kind of a girly man or whatever, and
Yep.
and it's like it's been a thing. Again, go read the story of Jacob and Esau if you want to have some fun. Just listen to it dramatized on Bible Gateway.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
If you want to see how kids mature, look at choir pictures from when they was younger.
Yeah.
They start out as alto, and maybe by the time they start their freshman year at high school, they make it to tenor.
Yeah, well, there's some of them little boys. There's some soprano boys, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really are. They have high, but yeah, absolutely.
And so-
we've gone down a trail, y'all.
Okay.
It's front porch.
yeah.
It's the front porch.
That's what I tell everybody. My friend Donna Madden. Y'all check out her book. Go check out Donna Madden. She's one of my teachers she's one of our fellow. She teaches at Greenbrier, and she's starting to write, and she's really good, and she's got all these books coming out, and I don't know what I was going to say. I forgot what were we talking about. I'm so ADD.
The rabbit hole that we're on.
I know, but that's not even. I had something else. I don't know what it was. I had a point I wanted to make about Donna, and just go check her out. But anyway, I don't know what I was going to say.
It'll come back
You
to
see,
you.
and I got the
Maybe-
perfect name for a title of a book too.
What?
Don't buy this book if it's going to hurt your feelings.
Oh, I love that. I know what I was going to say about Donna is the fact that she was very nervous about coming in here, and she goes, I didn't know what we were going to talk about. And I told her, we're just sitting on the porch talking.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell everybody that comes in here. That was my point. Thank you.
Yeah, we had one with
Anyway.
us last month.
Say again.
I said we had one with us last month,
Oh, I know. It's fun. It's fun. So,
but he was like, "Wow, that was easy." I said,
Yeah.
"Hey," I said, "Laverne to get you to talk."
well, here's the sad reality. If none of my guests show up, I can just talk nonstop for the entire hour. I'll find things to talk about. I will. I'll just pull stuff out of the hat. I'll be like, here's what's going on in my brain right now.
That's what radio is.
Yeah, truly
That's
it
what
is.
radio is.
I've had so much fun with the students because we're doing show prep and doing all the things for. They're going to podcast, and I've got several kids that are like, "Can we do a podcast for this?" I'm like, "You can do whatever school appropriate. You can do whatever school appropriate." But I don't know what he's telling me, but he's giving her something. I go, cool. All right, what are you doing, Ilya? You can come in here and talk. You don't have to pretend like you're just hiding.
I'm watching her.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. You keep an eye on her. I got you. But anyway, that is the president of Ebenezer Broadcasting. If you have not met that man, you need to go meet him. He's awesome.
He
And,
knows me better because he spent a week in Israel with me.
That is
or I spent a
true.
week in Israel with him.
Yes, she went to Israel. He takes trips to Israel. But I've enjoyed with my students as we've been waiting for everything to start working because all of our equipment's still not in line with what we need it to be. And so we're trying to practice podcasting. And as they get around the table and start talking, it's just flowing.
Yep.
And it's just coming natural. Sometimes not school appropriate. We have to reel them back in and go like, let's change the subject. Let's go back over. Because they're teenagers and you go, get back over there.
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of keep them geared in. But it's really fun to see them see, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can have these conversations.
It's probably really fun to hear them talk
It's
too.
hysterical. It's so cute.
Because it's so much this anymore with kids that you don't
Yep.
hear them talk and you don't see them forming thoughts. That,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for what we're doing with the opening all of it up. But anyway, where do you want to go next? I still got a couple of ads to do,
Oh,
but
shoot.
what do we need to talk about?
Oh, look, a squirrel.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're just all over the place. Here's what's going on. This is the first Wednesday. This is the Veteran Service Office Day that they come in, and I've got Terry Wilson. I've got Gwen Harder here, and they are Veteran Service officers, and they are here at the office to help anybody that is a veteran. And you also have your Scott, right? Is that
Scott.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I
Mr.
thought-
Irwin.
Yes, and so Scott is in there as well. So make sure that people that might just be tuning in know, number one, where's your office, what you do, all of those things, because we do have people that tune in that, they don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Me. We're at the county building, 505 South Brown Street. If you come in to get your car tags, come around the corner and see us.
There you go.
We're right on the corner on the same floor. And we're right down the hall from the property tax office too.
They're
we're-
popular right now.
Yeah. So, if you're a veteran, we had a guy come in the other day. He was there to pay his property tax and saw our sign and came in, and it's like, we got to talk, and it's like, you need to make an appointment.
Yeah.
You're
Help you pay your property taxes.
well, exactly.
'Cause they went up.
You're due some things that you need to have. So, yeah, we're right there right there at the county building. In the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 4:30.
Uh-huh.
We work from home Mondays and Fridays, but you can still call us and get information and check on things. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
That's a little bit of let's chase that rabbit for a second. When I say the property taxes went up, no, they got reappraised,
Right.
which will make your property taxes go up because if you're like me, my property doubled in value pretty much.
Yeah.
Did y'all have like a double in value
I
kind
haven't
of
gotten
appraisal?
mine yet.
Well,
Oh, get ready.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
You will.
mine was going to anyway.
Yeah.
Because it was unimproved property last year.
True. So you weren't shocked. I wasn't shocked. I was prepared for it. Honestly and truthfully, I was surprised it took them this long because I knew my property was undervalued on the appraisal for the
Right.
county.
Yeah.
And so, I'm fine paying it. But here's what you need to do, and this is for veterans. Anybody, you don't need to wait until next year when your property taxes are due to deal with it. If you've got a mortgage loan, and we'll talk about Barry and Rebecca in a minute, but if you've got a mortgage loan, you need to call your mortgage lender and you need to increase your escrow.
Yes.
You need to put in a little more in escrow. You need to find out what your taxes are going to be next year based upon your new appraisal. You need to call your mortgage and say, "Hey, we've had a reappraisal. Our property taxes are good. I'm going to have property taxes aren't going up, but I'm going to be required to pay more property taxes based on the appraisal.
Yeah.
Can you please start putting another $100 in my escrow per month?" And if you don't do that, you're going to get hit with almost, if you're like me, you're going to have almost a double tax bill than what you're accustomed to. And that will mean that they're going to take and really impact my mortgage payment next. I mean, just all these things, guys.
Yeah.
Get in front of this.
Yeah.
Veterans, a lot of veterans, I mean, people don't want to deal with, there's a lot of drama going on around a lot of veterans' lives. And people just want to stick their head in the sand and not deal with stuff. You can't do that. You got to take it head on.
Or suck it up, because that's the main thing that I'm seeing
Right.
there. 6 months is, and I grew up in a military household. I know how military is. I'm fine. I'll you just push through it, because that's who you're trained to be. You just
So
push
you're
through
saying
it.
they tell themselves, "I'm just going to suck it up. I'm going to
Exactly.
Okay,
And
I
they don't-
misunderstood you for a second.
They
Okay.
don't go and get treated for what they need to be
Right.
treated for.
I'm,
They don't.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I know my parts and pieces.
Exactly.
So I'm good.
And
yeah.
they push through it, and they're not getting what
Yeah.
they're due.
Yeah.
I had a Desert Storm vet that I still see him from time to time, still do some things for him. But when he first came in, he only came in because his wife made the appointment and she came with him. But he hadn't seen a doctor in 25 years.
Oh wow.
Had not seen one since about 91 or 92.
Oh my.
And he goes, "Well, I've been really busy." Well, you're not that busy.
My twins were born in 91. They'll be 32.
Yeah.
And I said, so taking it a step further, and I said, well, for us to do the things we need to do, you're going to need to see a doctor and start doing these things. Well, I don't have one. And I love his wife. She goes, "That's okay, because I'll get you an appointment. Don't worry."
Yep.
Oh, how funny.
Oh,
How
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Me and her had talked previously on the phone. So, but it's good to see, because I'm one of those guys too. When I go, I go usually kicking and screaming. I get drugged. I've been sent to the ER a few times, but it wasn't willingly. So the last time was when I tore my finger open, and the ER doc, he goes, down at the VA, he goes, "So what's your pain level?" And I'm like, "You're kidding, right?"
Yeah.
I said, "It's annoying."
And that question's annoying. Just do what you need to do.
Yes,
and
I
then
got
go.
things to do.
I got things to do.
And he goes, "Well, I need something." I said, "Okay, 2, 3. Just put a 3 down, okay? It's just really annoying and irritating that I have to be here, because I knew the bleeding would eventually stop."
Right. It's more painful to be here than it hurts my thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm busy.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
ended up 9 stitches and finding out that the end of the finger was broken.
Terry.
Yeah, and I mean, not in the finger part, but up here past the first joint, before the first joint in the end.
What did you do? Everybody's asking. I was like, what'd you do? Did you slam
Hey.
it in the door?
Oh no, it was a good
Or is
thing.
it just too embarrassing to tell?
Oh no. I was laying laminate flooring,
Oh,
and
ouch. Oh, ow.
and I
You had to ask.
kind of lost focus there for a second, and I caught it with a good whack. Fortunately, it was.
Oh, sorry,
it was-
y'all. I know we're all going, oh.
Fortunately, it was just the mallet, just that heavy plastic mallet. Whereas if it had been my E-swing
Ooh.
26-ounce hammer,
Oh.
In your hand.
I wouldn't even had to win. It's like I told the doc, it's like build a fire, stick the K-bar in it, cauterize the end of it, and go on back to work.
Goodness.
But I did it like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I finally give in at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, the blood clots, it's working, but you're still bleeding through everything. I'll be all right. No, you're going to bleed to death. No, I'm not going to bleed to death. If it was in the thigh or around the neck or something, yeah. But not from my finger.
Goodness. I think we're going to have to get our hospital in Northcrest on here.
And,
It's our biggest sponsor for this. It's like,
And,
that should be our new advertiser for us.
Yeah.
But
And
anyway.
so when I see that was on a Saturday, well, that Thursday I saw my primary care doctor at the VA. And this was in August, first week of August, and she was like, "I know what." She goes, "I already know about what you did. I've done seen your records." I said, "Okay." She goes, "What'd you tell the doctor your pain was?" I said, "It was annoying. It was an inconvenience for me have to be there. I said, I'm not going to say waste of time. I said, but I'm
is what it is.
sure there's other people that had more things, more
important
devastating
things, yeah.
than this."
Funny.
And she goes, "And you told him?" I said, I said I threw it out. I give you a 3. She goes, "Well, I'm looking at your blood pressure here that they've recorded, and it's about a 7 or 8. I said, "Oh," and my wife is sitting right there with me when I'm talking to primary care doctors. I go, "That's what it feels like."
Oh, you're so funny. I didn't know that they could gauge your blood pressure and get your pain level.
Oh
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Oh,
Your
okay.
your pain level will increase your blood pressure.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Oh, well,
Okay.
my wife's sitting there. She's just like rolls her eyes. And I go, "Oh, that's what it feels like."
Too funny. Too funny. I tell you, well, let's pause. Let me take another break here. We're going to talk about my friends, Corbin Creek Greenhouse, Gifts and Gardening Center, and then we'll continue with this saga. And trust me, we have no idea where it's going to go, but we're going to talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse, Gifts and Gardening Center because you need to save the date. Mother's Day weekend, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. That is Corbin's Customer Appreciation Day. They want to invite you out. They're going to be opening up at 9 a.m. They're going to have free hot dogs and all the things for the family that you're going to want to come and be a part of. I want to remind you, I can't say enough about going into the store there. People think that's kind of an office. It's actually where they have all their handcrafted items. That's where I get my pot holders and all the things like that I need for my kitchen. I love them. Miss Jane makes them. It makes them so special. They've got CBD products in there. I rely on that so much for my arthritis. It is such a help to me. And it may be for you as well. Go and talk to them. They're going to have all kinds of fun things happening again on May 13th. They're going to have free, or they're going to have planting stations. Not free. I mean, I don't think they're free. I think you have to pay, because the kids put something together. But they're going to have planting stations for the kids that they can come in and make something beautiful for mom. So you can go in there and you can get something beautiful, a gift, maybe some pot holders or things like that to go with a beautiful plant, hanging plant for mom at Corbin on the 13th, Customer Appreciation Day. But they've got all kinds of great stuff. They're going to have the female food trucks going to be out there starting at 10 a.m. But again, the doors open, or they're saying come on out from about 9 a.m. on, and it's going to be awesome for Customer Appreciation Day. Everything that you need for your garden, they've got it. 4920 Highway 161 in Springfield. You can give them a call at 384-3185, 615-384-3185. My dear friends and longtime sponsors of One Street Over, when you get out there, please let them know always that you turn Cinco. And getting back into our show with Gwen and Terry from the Veteran Service Office. What else do we need to talk about?
Yeah, let's jump to Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. That Friday, the not women's auxiliary, but the auxiliary with the American Legion in Greenbrier will be doing their drive-through Poppy Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the American Legion does it, and the VFW does poppies as well. There's a difference between the two. American Legion, they only call theirs poppies, and they're doing it drive-through, and it's donation. And in the past, the ladies have fixed up some wonderful, wonderful gifts and different things there. Last year they had found some bears, and they were brown, but they were called chocolate bears. They smelled like chocolate.
Nice.
It was unique.
Yeah.
And I tell you, they've got some really crafty women.
Well, and so do they sell those items to help raise money along
Yeah.
with the poppies?
Yes.
Right. If I remember, because I drove
Yeah.
through there, because I always get poppies to hand out
Yeah.
at church.
And
So,
what they do from the funds that they receive, that goes into a separate fund. It goes into what they call their Poppy Fund. That money can only be used for the benefit of veterans. So it's very detailed as for where they have to account for it, where it has to go, how it's used. That's going to be going on starting at 8 a.m. on that Friday, and we'll run through 2, maybe later. So came up, on your way to work, drive through, see them. On your lunch break, drive through, see the ladies. Then on Saturday, we'll be having the VFW will be doing their Buddy Poppies. So they will be at multiple locations throughout the county. I would say probably between 8 and 10. You will see VFW members. You'll see some of the JROTC from Springfield High out there helping them. Sergeant Holland does a great job over there with his JROTC group.
They're outstanding kids.
And they are really helpful and seem to enjoy coming out and spending some time with the veterans. We'll probably have I'm speaking out of turn here, but I would venture to say the hot dog cart will be at TSC that day. So if you need a big quarter-pound hot dog, that's the place to go get
so
it.
good.
And they don't sell them; it's donations. So that's the big thing. Everything, what the ladies do on that Friday, what VFW is doing on Saturday, that is all donation. We're also working on having the American Legion post open Friday through Monday. Hours will vary a little bit on that, but the one thing that we are planning on is to have kind of a little luncheon or something after the programs during the morning time. So once we finish up with the Greenbrier program, that goes, we start at 9 a.m., usually over about 9:30. We've got it down to an art just about because we had to make sure that the mayor gets done in time to get to White House.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's a big thing. And a lot of folks ask, well, why don't we do something for the county? Well, because each time we do, we can't do it at the same time that the Greenbrier's doing theirs. We can't do it when White House is doing theirs. It's also the first summer holiday. A lot of people use that. They'll be out on the lake, and hopefully most of them will come back. But still, it's time to be able to have that and be able to get the attendance to come. And I also get complaints from people, well, why didn't the county do a Veterans Day? Well, we did. We have been in the past, but we haven't done one the last few years because then everybody complained, well, I don't know why they did it today because I had to work or, this.
You cannot make everybody
Yeah.
happy.
No.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be people
So-
grumpy about something all the time.
So I've kind of told them we are not an event planning business. And so here's when the events are happening.
Join us if you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So don't complain if there's not something to go to because there's plenty all over the county to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And especially Memorial Day weekend,
Oh, yeah.
churches be doing programs.
Right.
So no, there's plenty. But we are planning on having some finger foods. We're working on trying to get some sub sandwiches, things like that to have there throughout the day on that Monday.
Awesome.
And once we get, we're going to start working on trying to have the post open some during the week. We haven't got all the logistics on that yet, but after first of the year, then it'll probably be start being open maybe 2 or 3 days a week.
Okay.
And give a place for, if veterans want to come out of the morning, have some coffee,
Yeah.
tell some lies, solve all the problems of the world,
Tell some lies.
tell about the fish that got away, and
Share their
have some
stories.
coffee, share a story, play some cards. If they want checkers, chess, whatever they want to do. And if we've got it there, and I mean, if some of them say, "Hey, you know what? I just want to come in here and sit and ramble a little bit and maybe work a puzzle. Hey, great, come on.
There you go. I love it. Talking with Terry Wilson and Gwen Harder. They are our veteran service officers, along with Scott as well, over at the county building. And you can go by and see them and get answers to all the things we've talked about. And I know we've gone off some crazy trails, but it's because we're friends. We've known each other a long time. But just the bottom line is, if you know a veteran that is not checking into the things that are available to them, please reach out to their office
Yes.
and get them some help. And I mean, at the very least, just make sure that you've got all the things taken care of when it comes to the end of your life, so your family can get you in the veteran cemetery, all those honors and things,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. There's so many things that your family wants for you because you're a veteran, and they need you to help because they don't have the answers about where you served and all of those types of things.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So-
one of the biggest things that I have seen over the years, and it seems to be getting a little bit more and more, is the wishes of the family or the veteran is not fully realized until either the day before
Yeah.
or the day of the
Yeah,
funeral.
Don't wait.
And,
Don't wait.
it's hard to pull a honor detail together that quick.
Yeah.
And it's like I got a phone call Sunday afternoon that Forest Lawn down in Goodlettsville needed an honor detail. They just got the word on it.
Oh, wow.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And I told Carl up in White House, we can't. There's no way that I
Put
can
it together that quick.
Yeah. And so he was able to pull together 4 guys. And so they went and did the honor detail on that Monday. But it takes planning. And when we're looking for the honors, if it's going to be something that active duty is going to be coming out and doing, they have to have active duty service. If they had reserve time and they had active duty, stick to the active duty part. That's another reason why it's good to get that doing a pre-burial setup. If nothing else, getting a booklet and just putting the information down.
So
and
people know your wishes.
Yeah, and the funeral home, all they have to do is call the military one call, and it goes out. They tell them what branch it was, what time, when was their period of service, and then at that point, they get it out to the organizations.
Okay, and I've got to do one more break. We're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards real quick. Come back and just, if you've got any wrap-up thoughts, because we're getting ready for the Ghost Show coming in here with my friend, Sweet Lee Marie. But Barry and Rebecca Richards, if you have questions, my friend Paul Rainey put up that his escrow goes up automatically when the property taxes go up. But when the appraisal happens, I don't know what that is. But anytime I have real estate questions, even that kind of stuff, because Barry and Rebecca know all that because they deal with this every day. So if I have mortgage questions, anything, all those things, I call and ask them. If I have marketing questions, I call Barry. He's a marketer. If you have property that people are not giving proper look at, if you've got property you're trying to sell and it's just not getting any traction as it's out there, you may need a marketer on your team to come out and redo your videography and your photos and all those things to get it back up to where it catches attention. If you want somebody that really knows what they're talking about and has studied this stuff, Rebecca is one of the first in the area to be a senior real estate specialist, and they are sponsors of the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and on the board as well, Barry is, and they will be there. Kilgore Station Park, 3rd weekend in May, but don't wait until then to contact them. You can contact them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, BUYRobertsonCounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Barry and Rebecca Richards, ex-Realty Garden Gate team, contact them today and see them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. Tell them you turned into. Parting thoughts, you guys, as we head out.
Okay. Just letting folks know that our office is actually, we are county. We're county employees, so we are not the VA. We don't answer to the VA, which means that's why I got to say the things to them that I get to and get away with it. But it's so part of your property taxes actually goes for our payroll. It's a very small percentage and stuff.
Yeah.
But to have an idea, one of the things that we look at is the annual report that comes out, GDX, that tells us how much VA assistance is coming into Robertson County, and we just received the 2022, and we went up another 20%.
Oh, wow.
We were at 40.8
That's amazing.
million. We are now at $49.2 million of support coming in for our veterans, surviving spouses,
Outstanding.
and our veterans here in Robertson County.
That's wonderful.
And it's a lot of hard work. So we just ask people, remember, there's more of you than there is of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we handle between 500 and 1,000 each on the caseload.
Oh, my. All right, Gwen, parting thoughts?
And I just answer the phones.
All right, guys.
She's the gatekeeper.
We got to wrap it up. I could sit and talk to them for a while because we just friends and we just love to chat. But we sure appreciate you being a part of it. Now, tomorrow we're going to get back with Jamie Nixon will be here to talk some sports in Robertson County. And we're going to, of course, visit with you, like Brian Floyd and Thompson will be here. Just so many good things going on here at One Street Over. Thank you for being a part of it. Stay tuned. We have got Lee Marie coming up with the Go Show coming up in just a moment. Stay with us. God bless. This is 1100 WSGI.